Hi everyone. Okay, so we already added the Soundtrap app to ClassLink. If you haven't done that, go back, watch that video. Otherwise, you're going to be confused by this first step. So after you add the ClassLink app to, the Soundtrap app to ClassLink for your students, you're going to want to have them go into the ClassLink portal. For us, it's going to be under the NMUSD staff bookmarks. Should be already loaded up for you. Your students will be able to just access this very easily because this is what launches for them automatically on their Chromebooks. So once you are here, let's talk about how to get a class actually into Soundtrap. So before you have students do this, make sure that you complete these steps. So we're going to start by opening up Soundtrap. Again, mine is in ClassLink. Here's the icon. I'm just going to click on it. And it is going to log me in. You saw a quick connection portal there. It might ask you to log in using your Google credentials. Just go ahead and select Google and then log in. I did find that sometimes it requires you to do that a couple of times. I don't know why. It just doesn't make a clean connection with Soundtrap. But once you're in, this is kind of the main portal here. So you can see that I have a bunch of stuff in here. That's because I've been working with Soundtrap with students. But before any of that gets started, you are going to want to make sure that you have actually students in your Soundtrap account. So in order to do that, you're going to want to make sure that you have your students rostered, which they should already be rostered for you either in Google Classroom or in some other form. But I think the easiest thing to do is Google Classroom. So what you're going to do is you are going to go over to the groups area here in the purple. You can kind of see it here on the side. So if I click on groups, these are all of the groups. So you actually have access to see all of the groups that you're part of, and then the groups that anyone on Soundtrap has created within the Newport Mesa system. So right now, it's only showing the groups that either I belong to or that I have created. And over here, you can see that that is check marked on the side here. It says show my groups only. So that's what I like to keep check marked because otherwise you're going to see a whole bunch of other groups. If I uncheck it, you're going to see there's all of these other groups. So I don't know who these belong to, but you can see that there's a whole bunch of other groups in here and things that need to get deleted and so on and so forth. But I think that we definitely need to name it based off of your school and then your teacher. You're going to want to make sure that you can identify very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click back on to show my groups only just to keep it pretty clean. So I've chosen to name mine school name followed by the teacher name followed by the school year. And you can see these are the number of students that I have in each class. So very simply, to get started creating our own group is you're going to come up to the top and you're going to click create group. Pretty straightforward. Go ahead and click on it and it's going to ask you to name it. So I am going to just create a dummy account. I'm going to call this NCE for Newport Coast and I'm going to name it, let's say Smith for the teacher name and then followed by the school year. So for us, that's 23-24. I personally think this is the easiest way to do it. Of course, if you have your own way, I just recommend putting your school as well as the teacher. And then you can click add me to this group. You do want to be added to the group so that you can see what is going on in the group. So go ahead and make sure that's clicked. And then you're going to come down to the bottom here with the purple button and say create. Okay, so if you look on our list now, you'll be able to see that this class has been added and you can see that there's one member of the group. That's me. I'm the member of the group. And you can click into it and actually see who's part of this. Now, you can do this a couple of different ways. You can do an invite code, you can do an invite link. Personally, I think the absolute easiest way to do this is to use Google Classroom because that's already been rostered for us and it has all of our students. We don't have to worry about multiple clicks or things like that. So if you come up to the top here, you'll see this purple button that says add students and you're going to want to click on that. And then it's going to ask you, how do you want to do this? Now, you can use Schoology. If you're choosing to use Schoology, you're going to use this connecting to other systems. I have not personally used this. I am personally just been using the Connect through Google Classroom. Again, even if you're not using Google Classroom to post assignments, it will read all of your student information. And so at least you know that it's rostered correctly, because Google Classroom does keep up to date with students that are enrolled or dropped throughout the year. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on Connect to Google Classroom. And then it's going to ask us to allow access to Google Classroom. Yes, we're going to allow that. We're going to click Next. It's going to ask me to choose an account. I'm going to use, of course, my Newport Mesa account. And then it's going to give us an option to load. Now, this is my ukulele band, for example. So I want to, let's say, add a teacher, but I don't have maybe a teacher right now set up. So I'm just going to use a ukulele band because none of these students are in. One thing to note, we only have licenses for 6th grade. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this as soon as I'm done. I'm not going to complete it because these students are in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and I don't want to use up any licenses. So just remember, this is only for your 6th grades. So again, where are we importing from? So I have rostered or I've chosen the rostered class of ukulele band. Again, that's going to be whatever teacher, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Johnson, whoever your 6th grade teachers are. And then to what Soundtrap group. Okay, over here on the side, this is going to be important. So we need to, again, make sure that you have that first step done of creating the group. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to look for NCE Smith because that was the group, the dummy group that I created. Theoretically, these should match, right? I don't have a Mrs. Smith. That's a made-up name. But what I would want to make sure is that this is going to match. So Miss Bixler or whoever the teacher's name is along with this so that you know exactly what's going on. And then once you do that, you're going to click Import. Again, I am not going to click Import because I don't want to use up licenses. I'm just going to click Cancel, but you will be clicking Import. Okay, so I'm going to get back out of here and I'm going to show you then what all of this should look like once your students are back into a class. So again, this is just a dummy account, but once you click that import, once you are connected to Google Classroom, if you then click on the teacher's name, you'll see all of your students listed here. And they should all be listed with a student account minus, of course, yourself who's listed as a teacher. Okay. You can go to the second page if you have additional students in the class. That's step one. So before you can do any projects, please make sure you have your students rostered. Again, quickly, we're going to review here on the purple menu. You're going to click Groups. You're going to click Create Group. You're going to create a name for the group. I'm just going to put name of class just to quickly review. Oops. And you are then going to connect to that group. You're going to click into it. You're going to find the purple button here up at the upper right hand corner, click Add Students, and then select how you are going to import. Okay, so pretty easy, and this step must be done before any other projects. Good luck.